gentlemen, here's John and Danny.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Grim After Dark, where we bring you the latest Unreal news and unqualified analysis from the grim darkness of the far future. I'm your host, John, and I'll be guiding you through the tumultuous events of the 41st millennium and beyond. So grab your dice, assemble your miniatures, and get ready for some epic battles and hilarious hijinks. It's going to get pretty grim after dark. Joining me on the show is my good friend and fellow Warhammer fanatic, Danny McDevitt. Welcome in, Danny.
What was that?
It's literally the same intro that I've used for the last month or so.
Have you been practicing in front of a mirror? Like, I'm really proud of you. That was very well delivered.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
I like the flourish with the dice. Like, that was...
No, there's actually no dice. This is my backup micro pack when the one I'm wearing dies. So that's just being professional.
I thought it was a big dice, like an oversized one, and I was like, okay, because like we're talking about gaming.
That's true. That's true. I'm going to get dice for next time. Also joining us, as ever, from now on, is our intrepid producer extraordinaire, Trickie Dick. Hopefully.
Woo! Yeah, it's still hot back here. It's a goddamn train wreck. That's all I can tell you. I gotta go fight these fires.
It's true. Guys, what you don't really understand or know is that it's actually the brand new weight screen video that causes his computer to burst the studio on fire.
It's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, 42% computer usage.
Yeah, at least.
And that causes it to burst into flames?
Yeah.
I'd hate to see 50%.
Dude, I don't even know what to tell you.
It is a Mac, to be fair. Self-proclaimed but for this week, I think we have a very well edited picture to show.
Oh right, yeah. Boom.
Maybe.
Oh no, that's not it. That's them. Boom.
Yep.
No.
That's not the one.
That's them.
Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain.
God. It's so sophisticated. Hold on, enhance.
We're at 22%. We still got a little more juice in this guy. Woo!
Wow,
we did it.
Beautiful.
The skill.
Yeah. Also, look at how gorgeous this picture is.
This?
I tell you, hours of work. Hours.
Up SC in chat saying that HPE machine is doing the Lord's work.
Oh,
Sir,
God. It is.
Is this a Van Gogh? I'm just really...
It's beautiful.
This is speechless.
I like that they couldn't... They couldn't even erase the letters behind Heffelfinger. They just went over top of it.
I will have you know,
it's just a white text box.
God,
that in all of the budget went into the productions.
Yeah, that's it.
So leave me alone.
We show it once a show.
Also, if everything
really?
goes right, once a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be asking, where in the world is Val Heffelfinger? Danny, if you can look at this next picture and help describe where Val Heffelfinger is this week.
Okay. So what this appears to be is a map.
Oh wow!
Using Google Maps, with a pin in it, on that's labeled Guantanamo Bay Airport. So this looks like maybe South Central Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, exciting news. This is kind of implying that Val is being held in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that what that's implying?
I think so. Is that the joke? Did I explain it? Did I do the thing?
I'm genuinely concerned about him now.
Yeah,
that's fine. No, he's fine. It was all part of the deal. That is kind of our big news. Val himself wanted to be here to help announce. However, he decided to instead not be here.
He chickened out.
That's the story. Chickened out.
Yeah.
But,
Coward.
Guys, good news. This is the penultimate episode of Grim After Dark on the Frontline Gaming Network. Danny, any thoughts on that?
It's a bittersweet day, John.
It is a bittersweet day.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
2 years
I don't know if it's bittersweet. I'm really excited for all the time I'm gonna have.
That's true. That's true.
Fair, fair.
So yeah, guys.
Point.
After next week, we will no longer be performing Grim After Dark on the Frontline Gaming Network. We are actually going to be spinning off and kind of having our own feed or our own show away from Frontline Gaming. Now, obviously, we love Frontline Gaming and everything they've done to help us support. They're going to still stay with us as sponsors. So definitely use your tinyurl.com/40k Grim.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, chat's coming in at
Yeah.
TFG Radio. Welcome, judges, saying called mob rules. Not anymore. If you catch that YouTube channel, YouTube channel.
This is really awkward, guys. I just remembered I totally forgot to tell Seth, and he's in chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Seth,
Seth.
the Mad Dog.
Yeah.
First, my parents' divorce, and then this. So yeah, Dickie's going to be coming with us, as producer. Really, we want to help Frontline for everything they've offered us, but this is a great opportunity for us as a show to continue doing this. Guys, we're going to have more episodes of Mob Rules, kind of more focused on the actual gaming part of 40K. We have plans to do some like hang and paints, maybe play some games, do some weird stuff like that. But all in all, super excited for the future. So that's starting in 2 weeks from now. If you go to, we look at this next slide here that was, again, very professionally made.
Oh, just beautiful.
You
What
can
font
find
is that?
Grim After Dark. That is Arial, sir.
Ooh.
But you can find Grim After
interesting.
Dark on YouTube if you go to tinyurl.com/grimdark40k. And our podcast feed is going to be tinyurl.com/grimpod40k. Big Papa SC, how does one follow the new Grim? Right there.
I actually threw it in the notes too. Yeah.
tinyurl.com/grimdark40k. We won't really be changing.
Yeah.
We'll just be allowed to use the F word more than once an episode. That's a lie.
I hope you guys are
we
ready,
were
'cause
we were
I have
never
been holding back.
Can we look at some of the wild reasons that people think that we're leaving? They're so good.
Oh yeah. Guys, go throw in it.
Yeah.
Why are we leaving?
GW's
some
buying
conspiracy
Frontline
theories.
Gaming real, huh?
That can't be
Can't
real.
be real. Get out of here.
Yeah, TFG Radio saying that's why we never joined the FLGN was because they could only use the F word once. F obviously stands for score counting. And then when is Grimdark Fantasy Podcast? That's something that might come
so
up now.
soon. Yeah.
So soon. So while we're playing around for this stuff here, let's go on to our new bit that I started doing last week. Danny, we got some new releases coming up this week. You can pre-order them from this Saturday at tinyurl.com/40k Crim40k for all of your Frontline Gaming goodness. We have the Primaris Nerf Marines coming out.
Dude.
It's Nerf Maris or nothing. Danny, tell me about these, or at least what we can tell about these.
They're so good. I mean, you saw the rules preview today. So they are what a unit. Like
what a unit.
You
Absolute
can
size of the lad.
walk out from behind a wall and like shoot like 10 crack rockets and then also shoot like 10 D3 indirect blasts at something. It's easy to make Marines 2+ to hit, and like you can just absolutely lay waste to whole people's armies with that. That is a wild unit. Not super durable, but man, they seem great.
Oh, please
But
paint them
maybe
neon
just-
green.
Interesting design choice. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes, they are going to be very oppressive if they are priced fairly. And obviously just find a nice little ruin to hide them behind. And then who cares? And then someone asked, is it supposed to still be Val? Yeah, Val will still stay with the show. He was part of the deal. In order for us to safely leave, we had to take Val with us.
Yeah, GW didn't want him. Yeah.
We do. I said I would do this every week. Moving on. That's all the exciting stuff. End of the Death is coming out as well. Part 1. The first bit, it's an amazing book, guys. Buy it. We're not even going to go into the part that we talked about, the GW cart system for pre-orders, in which case I spent 45 minutes trying to get 2 books.
Wow.
And I had the End
minutes?
in the Death in my cart, the special edition, ready to go, ready to spend my $80. And then the cart wouldn't load, and then it said, "Hey, the web store is closed for maintenance." And I'm like, "No, it is not." And then when I went back, it's gone.
Oh.
So now I have just
brutal.
the poor
that
little
sucks.
poor man $30 version of it. But
Wow.
what I've read so far, obviously completely legitimately, the book is amazing. Super excited to read the rest of it here.
What's it about?
It's the end and the death
hmm
Of who?
of everything.
The end of what?
And the death of who?
And the death. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
I will say I've read about the first 80 to 100 pages of it so far. If you were to take a shot every time a character said the end, the death in the same sentence,
Yeah.
you would die about halfway halfway along. They say it a lot. Samus is the end and the death. There's a guy. My favorite thing is it reminded me, and I think Danny, I showed you this. It reminded me of Taylor, of Taylor fame.
Yeah.
One of the lines was, "The man beside him, an auxiliary sergeant whose name Centurio will never know, dies of fear. He simply dies and drops. He does not scream or flee, but his mind and heart give out, and he simply dies." That is the most Taylor way of dying that I can imagine, where just like peace and just falls.
Just mentally ceases to exist. Nobody knows how it just happened.
Oh, Kara Quintara letting me know the end of the death is on eBay for $600.
Oh,
It's a
Jesus.
little out of my
So much.
price range. So much. Please, guys, be petty. Report those listings as violating eBay's terms of service. They don't physically have the product in hand. On a much more depressing note, Danny, and Dickie here, we have a Winning Dings dice update.
Boom!
Last week, I did actually email someone about these beautiful Winning Dings dice. But here's the deal, Danny and Dickie. Shit's expensive. The
Really?
sources looking at the company we emailed, and we're going to try some different ones here. Each individual dice would end up being about $10.
Oh, Jesus.
Amazing. That's powerful.
So
wow.
As much as I want to sell a $120 cube of dice that are unusable in most games, we are going to try sourcing from some other cheaper places. So we're going to search far and wide. Big Papa SC saying sold. I love you. Thank you. We are not spending $800 on dice to sell it $120 at a time. But yeah, it's coming. Danny, what are your thoughts about the impending Winning Dings dice when we find someone willing to do it for literally no money?
We're going to look. This isn't a journey that's completed in one day.
No.
Sometimes it's going to take a long time to walk to Mordor, and Mount Doom in this case being the supplier of Wingdings dice. So, this is going to be a quest, and we're going to continue. We're never going to quit.
No.
Because really, how can people even play 40K without confusing the fuck out of their opponents?
Well, thank goodness we're going to our own little part of the world where we can ask for people to help us out with the purchase of Wingding dice. Yeah. Brought it back.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Never forget.
My puppet's doing some weird stuff. Oh.
Yeah, nobody can hear John. That's pretty great.
Oh, great. Again with the mic, you son of a gun.
Do you need to take the fire extinguisher down to the server room, or is it how's the smoke down there? Wait. The black, that's not just the server room. You're not in there still, are you?
Yeah, can I be heard now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. I was going to say, people might say, why not just fly the Eagles to Mordor? In this analogy, would be why not use child labor from an overseas country?
Well, no, I can answer the question because the Falcon has a weak back.
Oh, Jesus.
You heard it here.
Wow. Shots fired.
Wow. Yeah. Big shots fired. Yeah.
Hashtag.
You gotta love it.
All right. Woo. Oh, now we can't hear you again? Great.
You guys,
use the crappy mic.
Not
use
big
the
crappier
mic.
Trying to silence John.
Yeah, this is clearly Frontline Gaming. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, this is purely us.
Yeah.
Peak us.
Let's go see how.
So mad, guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There he is.
very
There he
mad.
is. There he is.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Spiky bits.
Oh.
Let's.
Oh, we lost you again. Perfect. It only makes sense.
What is,
that this-
dude?
Here, let me go check the fire in the engine room. Let's see what's happening down there. No, it's hey.
It seems like, is that within normal temperature tolerance?
Yeah, this is normal. This is normal. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. The red light, the red flashing light is not good, though.
What does that even mean?
Well, that means that we've clearly moved to a bullshit of production quality. That's what that means. Here's Danny. Everything will be fine just as long as we don't get a siren and a self-destruct.
Oh, great.
Oh,
you know what
shit.
our podcast listeners would love to hear?
Yeah. Well, Danny, I hate to tell you this, but you can't hear it, but I can. It's the self-destruct warning. Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm only doing this to delay so John can get a proper mic and get back on the show. But you know what? For you guys, this is why we're doing this. Go.
Are we back?
Oh, I can. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I can hear you.
you're here. Oh, hold on. Are you? Hey.
Hey.
Okay.
John, immediately start into a story so we can make sure that this works or not.
Okay. So, one time, 4 little people decided to return some stolen jewelry to a different area of the world. The entire time they walked a lot. Sometimes they sang songs. Sometimes they ate.
Yeah.
The most important thing to remember, though, is they were very intolerant of other cultures the entire time that they went across.
They do.
Like
I love
rocks,
the foreign food.
they did not like those guys, even though they did really nothing negative in any sort of way. And then there was people who were just cloak people, and they didn't like fabric.
You should
So,
talk to people about the super chat that we just got as well.
Did we just get a super chat? I literally shut everything down and did not see the super chat.
You know what? I can
frustration.
I can tell people about it. N scope. I would imagine that's no scope, right? N scope 13.
I think so. Yeah, which is a great name.
Yeah, it is a good name. $5. This is the most entertaining show I have ever seen. Must have been a lie, really.
Look, no offense, but you need to get out more.
You need to see more shows.
Like, there's so much better content out there.
Yes, you're totally right. Oh, we lost your mic again. I love that we went through his whole story. His whole story. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, this forced perspective.
I tell you, it's really
John
good.
does have a big head, though, you guys. It's just not that big.
Here, why don't we go back to the server room and see how it's doing?
Yeah, John's.
Oh, shoot. The self-destruct is still on. Oh, man. That was the worst. Great.
You know what? I really wish that this were like a real gag. Like, I really want this to be a gag.
All right, guys, we're just gonna go tinny as hell.
Oh, this is the China mic. Okay, got it.
Fantastic.
This is the best microphone Logitech can fit inside a stream camera.
Did you just say
That's right, guys.
All right.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna be back. We're gonna let this happen.
We're gonna edit. This
we're
is
just
all
gonna
gonna
be
be edited out for the real listeners. It's no big deal. We got this.
That's right. You guys are
Is
not
it?
real listeners.
Yeah,
It's not
who's
gonna be
doing
edited
thing
out
to
at all
remember.
because it's really funny.
No, this is all
No,
gold.
this is all gold. This is great. This is going to be a new intro video. Guys, spiky bits. Let's do a show. We have a show here in between
Yep.
my mic cutting out.
Yep, we got it.
Love it. Spiky Bits came up with this amazing article saying that they profit off of Games Workshop, telling people to profit off of Games Workshop, using their sales tactics against them for free.
Wow.
Danny, what are some of Games Workshop's sales tactics in their Warhammer stores?
Well, so the the first one of these is awkward conversation, and I really think that you can maximize this in a variety of scenarios. I know I use it all the time when I don't want to talk to somebody, and it works out fantastically. So, they have so
I just saw
many.
chat
Anyway, I'm
saying,
surprised
"Oh God,
Spiky
they're
Bits
keeping
though
Jonas at
like
the
is
same
taking
chat."
any advice from Games Workshop. they write are like these hate articles. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they keep reusing the same art too? Like, come on, guys.
Hey, Dickie,
Look,
if we can go back to slide 1.
yeah, let's
I'll
talk
tell
about
you.
good Photoshop. How much that
I'll
costs?
tell you why they keep reusing the same art.
Bam!
Because art's really good art is expensive.
Man,
you need
that's
to
a
get your
good art.
values worth.
Man,
out of it.
that's something special
Such-
right there.
God, the perspective is amazing.
Such.
I
good
think
art.
it's kind of cubist in a way. Like, and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a
it's,
Picasso?
beautiful. It might be. Who knows?
Might be.
Who knows? I bet. Yeah. So what are these sales tactics? How can we stat check? Screw you guys.
Yeah.
But we love you. How can you profit off of GW using these sales tactics of making you buy brushes and paint?
At really expensive prices? I don't know.
Yeah. How do you profit off of that though?
Do you jack up the prices even higher? Is that like so? Do they just
Oh.
double down?
Oh,
Like the
so what
famous chicken sandwich from Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah.
Are you
What they
familiar
might
with this
do-
one, John?
This might be a barcode switching scam.
Oh.
So what you're doing is you're grabbing like the Memphis red
No.
paint.
It's definitely straight fraud. That's their their plan. Like,
Kara Quintero is really just digging into my heart with the end
Yeah.
of the death news with buy limited edition books and resell them on eBay. You monster. But yeah, that's obviously a really good way to profit off of
excellent
GW.
callback.
Excellent callback. Yeah, a hamburger in the Rio as well is also super expensive. But yeah, spiky bits, please. That doesn't make sense. Hey, Danny, other question on this. Should I have read the article to figure out how to profit off
That's
of them
my
using
next
their own
question,
tactics
yeah.
against them?
I would
No.
So I would personally. This
Okay.
is my personal recommendation. I would advise against reading any articles on spiky bits. If you can just avoid doing that, I think you'll be a much happier person.
I think so. Hey, we're gonna move on and hope that my voice doesn't cut out again.
Nah, this mic's gold.
I
This
called-
mic's for rock star. We
Yeah.
got this.
This is perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
Val's not gonna.
Oh, he's gonna be
pissy
so
about
mad,
this
but
at
I
all.
mean, he's not here. So who cares?
He's in Guantanamo. We
Yeah.
already established that.
John, that microphone is as powerful as the Three Gorges River Dam.
Bitshammer. The next slide is called Bitshammer should stop engaging with porn artists, and this is why. We have here on Twitter. It says, "Rule 34 artists. If your 40k orcs aren't wearing strap-ons to have sex, they're not canon. Everyone can thank for the Emperor." To which Matt the Scrap Heap replies, "They're using squigs." Danny, please explain.
What a good name.
Okay, so a squig. Wait, hold on. I got to go back further.
Okay.
Let's start talking about mushrooms first. So like
Oh, boy.
orcs are like no, okay. Yeah, so basically what this is talking about is a squig strap on, John. That's
Oh,
the implication here.
wow.
Yeah.
Because orcs don't have gender.
Wouldn't it not be a strap? Because like the way the hair squig works,
It would be a bite
is it
on.
bites, so it would be like a bite on.
Right.
So in this case, is there also a complementary vagina squig? Because orcs are genderless.
Now, whoa, wait a minute. That does not to say that orcs don't possess an anus. It's very clear that they do from a lot of implications in the lore.
Wait, okay, well, let's go back. Like in front of the mushrooms, but before that, where in the lore?
I think we're talking
is
about
it-
mushrooms either way here.
Where in the lore does it imply that orcs have anuses?
Because why else would they go to the drops? They talk about that all the time. They also build a lot of like idols of Mork and Gork out of dung, and they say that like in the books. So, and there's squigs that specifically live in the orc cesspits. Like that's where they find a lot of food there. So it's kind of like part of their ecosystem. The orc ecosystem is pooping.
But mushrooms don't poop.
John, mushrooms aren't sentient or mobile, or I mean, we can keep talking about this, but I don't think I need to.
That's fair. Going back to the dick squig.
Oh no.
Is this a case of the traditional org values of the biggest and the best? Or is this a time for our short kings to stand forward?
You know, it's not about physical pleasure. It's about emotional pleasure in this case. So either dominance or something similar. I feel like that would have to be the reason for this.
If orc lore,
yeah,
and Seth the Mad Dog and Jack can correct me on this, is that if you believe something,
I don't think
it is true.
Oh, man.
So if you believe that you have the biggest dick squig, will that reduce the size of everyone else's in the universe?
Interesting.
Or will that
Maybe.
increase your own?
I guess it's a matter of how wish fulfillment works with orc psychic powers. Is it by the bare minimum, or is it like is there a lot of orcs wishing this or thinking this?
Yeah.
Can I just say that it's really great that we announced that we're leaving the FLGN network and we're just double down on dick jokes, because I'm looking at the next slide. So
well, here's the deal: we can't be fired.
Yeah.
So we're
not
already
anymore.
gone.
We quit. Yeah. You can't fire me. I quit.
Wait, we're not going to get unemployment. Dude, come on.
Danny, you're a lawyer. You legally can't be fired after you quit. That's just the law.
I know.
That's all it is there. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we quit, we don't get unemployment, John.
Oh shit, that's true.
Man,
we better calm it down with the dick jokes.
We made
We're gonna calm down with the dick jokes, guys.
Yep.
Next slide. Well,
Yep.
no more dick jokes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Danny, what are we looking at?
Wow.
Here?
Just wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I knew. That's what I said.
Fantastic. This makes me happy. What we're looking at here, it's a picture with the caption, in my head, the orc didn't know what he was looting. It just felt right in his hands. So ... It is it appears that a joystick also has a phallic object. Looks like maybe a dildo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
A pink dildo.
My main question here is, why do you think the creator who created this, made this, painted it, modeled it, felt the need to tell people that it felt just right in the orc's hand?
That might be some projection, John.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt right. How restrained was this modeler to not put in the middle of the sea?
There may be like too much of a reference to Mac's bicycle and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and maybe they didn't want to quite go that far.
Yeah,
but they wanted to go
pounder 40,000.
That was good.
Thank you. And then to close out this slide here, before we grow up a little bit and stop talking about willies.
Fat chance.
Yeah, I can't.
What?
Go ahead.
What are some sex toys of the 41st millennium?
Well, we've seen those at home, man. We did a whole Joy Toy episode, basically.
Yeah, we did.
Fair.
We had
They're
butt
all
plugs
Joy
from
toys.
Art of War 2 at one point. Remember?
Oh,
True.
That's right. Oh yeah, the competitive AIDS.
Which one was the biggest?
It was Mark Perry's, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Perry.
Yeah, the Perry.
The Perry was the premium product.
Yeah.
If you get
No, the Harpster has been redesigned for the 23 season.
Oh yeah,
so
that's the winner.
cool. Yeah.
So it's the winner now.
Yeah.
That's okay. No more talks about nudity and stuff. Let's just move forward. No more body talk. Let's pull up the next slide here.
See,
Damn it, Dickie. This slide here is called "The Time of Mangron is Past. The Age of Asgron has Begun." Danny, can you say why that might be an appropriate title?
He's got some thick cheeks, man. When he claps, he claps. So I'm wondering why they gave cheeks but no balls.
no, right? That's the exact thing I was thinking.
That's my first thought.
That was my
right there.
first thing. I was like, why does this guy have no balls?
Yeah.
I feel Angron would be the steroid
Fully
bodybuilder type. So he would just
Dude, he still has balls, though, bro.
Everything.
Ugh.
Yeah, but they're tiny.
No.
I think they're in there.
No,
just
they're non-existent on this
No,
model.
dude, they're massive. They're
Yeah.
massive. He is fully intact.
He's got big balls.
Like, and proportionate.
Okay.
I will say he does have a little bobtail.
No.
What are your thoughts on the change? So, like, honestly, this guy did a great job in this model. He reposed him, moved him down. He did sculpt his entire ass out of green stuff. That is a
That's
fresh
committed right
sculpted
there.
ass.
And he felt like he needed to put the tail on there too.
I don't understand why there's a nub.
All right.
Why do you think there's a nub?
To make him look like a circus freak.
Okay, Mark Murphy in the comment with the joke of the episode yet again. You can't see his balls because he's angry on his center.
Oh, God.
Even if
Perfect. It's great. Bravo, sir.
well done.
I mean that, really. This is not sarcasm. I am.
No, that
very
was a
sincere.
very good joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
The small
Perfect.
tail is a bit off-putting, I have to say.
It makes me
Very
uncomfortable.
off-putting.
Yeah.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
Do
Is
you
it-
think it moves?
Yeah, well, when he walks,
Like,
I guess.
like
yeah.
wiggles?
Yeah, probably. Like it.
Do you think it wags like a little bulldog tail?
When he gets excited, it wags.
Yeah.
You know, when it cuts ours up to a good enough point here, we're
It'd be
gonna
funnier if we did.
Oh, great.
That's fair,
We're
that's
trying
fair.
that. We're trying to. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We're going from there. Let's keep going. I like this. We spent about 20 minutes on technical issues. Let's just kind of keep the episode going at a clip of a pace here. The next one here is called Feet Nose. Just to, if I no, it's not. I lie. The
Yeah,
next
you
one
lied.
here is Korn versus Angron is like your mom versus your stepdad. Is what I titled this one here.
Yeah.
It says here, Angron challenged Korn to a duel and Korn accepted. How can you make Angron win? Someone asked this on Reddit. My favorite answer was, Korn slips on 50,000 banana peels consecutively would be the only way that he would win or lose to Angron. Danny, Korn versus Angron, how's that fight going?
The pitcher does not.
Are you asking me, a demon Primarch, if he can fight the Chaos God that gives him all of his power? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are some ways
I don't know, man.
Angron
Who
could
knows?
win?
It's a mystery.
Okay, so here's a question. It's a theme that
Okay.
we've been putting through. Does Korn have balls?
Oh, he's got balls.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, we're
He's the literal
We're split.
embodiment of rage. Rage is stored in the balls.
No. Oh my God, John, you've never felt true rage, the one that burns your heart.
No, it
that's only
burns
burns
my
my balls.
yeah, the rage burns
That's
deep inside
chlamydia.
my scrotum.
That's chlamydia. Oh god.
Again, guys, a couple weeks from now, we're not going to be allowed on this network.
Yeah,
so-
all these jokes have been in hiding for the last year and a half. So.
it only gets worse. There's no quality
Yeah.
here. But we're gonna move on because, as Danny said,
Good.
the idea of a literal god of anger losing to his avatar of anger is
Kinda
probably
silly.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Kind of silly. Speaking of silly, Kragnos is an Age of Sigmar model. Beautiful model, Danny.
Dude, I love that model.
God of Destruction. I'm going to show you this picture here. The description is called Feet Nose.
I
so said
already
the
don't like
Gargants.
where this is going.
So said the Gargants, we don't like Kragnos because he has hooves, not feet. Challenge accepted. It's a good job
Ugh.
Gargant feet scale perfectly to Kragnos. This upsetting creature is an example of how it takes a community to raise a child. Converted by Layla Craven, a phenomenal job, by the way. Painted by Pete McMullen, again, phenomenal job. They also give thanks to Jack Thorpe for providing the feet. Jack Thorpe, you don't want providing the feet. Jake Bowley for unleashing it
Gotta
upon the
F
store,
this
and the
lie.
entire AOS background team for moral support. Apparently the quote attributed to the rest of the AOS studio was, "Just because you can doesn't mean you should," which feels like it's a rule that should go across to the 40K design team at some time.
Oh.
But Danny,
Yeah.
what are we expecting to see from Feetnos?
I expect. So first of all, if you want to make people think that you're not Quentin Tarantino, you need to cool it with this feet stuff, man. Like
At this point, I literally don't care. You
no,
subscribe to-
I'm I'm ready to be uncomfortable, John. That's how I'm feeling, and I know I'm going to be
Ready?
uncomfortable.
Dickie, are you ready to be uncomfortable?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's pull it on up here. Let's pull it on up.
Whoa.
Oh,
Danny.
come on with the fur. That makes it so much worse.
So, Danny, what are we looking at here?
So they've taken Kragnos and given him bare giant feet, but like he just clipped out the hooves and like has glued the feet to the fur, like the fetlocks. Is that what those are called on a horse?
Mhm.
Or fetlocks? I don't know. Anyway, like it is. Oh man, it is really weird, and so it looks like he has like, yeah, it's
very
so
off-putting.
off-putting because there's no fur or hair on the feet, so like
just
why
a
is
mane
there
around
hair
his
around
ankles. That's
ankles?
all.
I like to think that the gauntlets, the bracers, actually have the fur attached as a fashion statement, rather than him having random hairy
But it's the
ankles.
same color as his other hair.
You can cut it off of there and make. You can make.
Oh yeah, John. Do you make a lot of hair jewelry? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I sure do. I sure do.
Oh, Jesus.
I will say, can you imagine? Okay, two things really gross me out about this. One,
He'd be really
is
quiet if he
the
ran.
sound he would make moving
Yeah.
and walking disgusts me. And then the image of those moving and walking, also quite disgusting because of the curve of the feet and the way.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to like creepy. Would it be like this the slapping of feet on tile? Would that be
Yeah.
this? But
If-
four. Yeah. Oh.
If he were running down a hallway, but if he's just running in the grass and stuff, he's going to be like, it's going to be really quiet. Like that's going to be really weird to see something so big and quiet. Oh, that makes me really uncomfortable.
That's
All
so
I can
gross.
imagine is the sound of two pairs of flip-flops on there, just flip,
Oh God.
the whole time.
Friggin' syncopated, like, oh God.
Oh, I will say it is really well done. It's just also incredibly disturbing.
Oh man,
the
J
next-
Cow with is that Dan Halen? Amazing reference to Squidbillies. Yes, it looks just like that, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Man. Okay, well, now we know where you got that from. Danny, I want to need your help. You're an older gamer here. You've been playing this game for a long time. People are saying the game is so complicated now. There's all these books and rules and other things you have to remember. Danny, could you take us through this next slide here, which is a picture of the shooting at vehicles rules from Rogue Trader?
Jesus Christ.
This appears to be some kind of a BattleTech conversion to 40K. No, it's like they have this different chart that you roll of D12s for like row and column of where you hit this like Wraith, this Eldar Dreadnought. I assume that's what this is. Yeah, Eldar Dreadnought. Oh my God,
Yes.
that's so bizarre. I don't even
So it
wow.
says here,
There's a whole paragraph of rules about like how to use this.
the shooter is firing a missile launcher with targeter at an Eldar Dreadnought 48 inches away and moving at 12 inches, 9 charge rate. The shooter has a BS of 4, +1 for the targeter, a -1 because of a fast target, equals a total target shift score of 4. I'm already lost, but we're going to keep going.
Okay, I see what happens. All right, so you can shift the square 4 spaces from what you roll.
Okay, so the firer aims at the Dreadnought's head, a centrally placed target, which maximizes his chance of hitting. The rolls are 3 and 6, indicating a miss. The player can shift the hit by 4 spaces towards the aiming point, so he can shift the hit by 4 spaces towards the aiming point, or he can go either 7-6, the engine, or 3-7, another miss. In this situation, the player decides to adjust his hit position from the 3-6 point to the 7-6 point and attempts to knock out the Dreadnought's engine. How are we feeling about 9th edition 40K now, compared to these old shooting rules?
I mean, all right. Do you want me to be real about 9th edition? Because I do
Yeah,
think it's getting bloated.
Mhm.
Like, kind of like it. I'm looking forward to if some of the rumors that they've produced in the last couple of days that you've seen around.
Whoa, okay, well let's hold on, Danny, real quick. We're gonna, Dickie, throw up the next slide here. This is a really important thing we need to, because our listeners aren't really super used to this here.
Yeah.
This is a general warning. There's
Yep.
going to be actual discussion of the game of Warhammer 40,000 ahead. I'm sorry, we front loaded with the dick jokes. Now there's going to be actual discussion of the
Okay.
game. of Warhammer. And the first
Sorry.
thing we're going to do, because you said the game is getting kind of bloated now, I would agree. There's definitely that end of edition creep coming in. Coming hot off the heels of a random Discord today, we got 10th edition rumors. So let's kind of pull this up here from what we saw. We have 10th edition playtester here, GW F me over. So I decided to break my NDA to F them. One, as a playtester, how are you getting fucked over? Did the check bounce? Because
I was going to say, like, the lack of pay? Was that...
Kicked him right out. They were like, all right, thanks for your work. See ya, buddy. And then he's not going to get to see any more rules.
Were they just like, can I have a new Swarm Lord model? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to leak everything. But some of the stuff he said is generic Warlord trait and relics that every army has access to, including a CP refund, +1 save, a mastercrafted weapon. How are we feeling about more generic stratagems for people to use?
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, more generic strats is great. I think and like every army should probably have options like that. I think that's only fair. And I can't wait to see like I mean I like that change so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, generic relics for everyone is a super great idea. Better generic warlord traits I think is great because the ones in the current edition main book are kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
We have more generic stratagems that mostly everyone has access to, including character fight on death, auspex scan, combat revival with medic keyword, and kind of going through there. What is this? So these first couple of points here with the more generic warlord traits and relics and stratagems, what does this say to you about kind of the direction that you think 10th is going based on these?
So I hope we get something kind of like, I don't know, like some of the boarding action rules for units in like Arcs of Omen, where they show like you get like a little page of strats, like some cool enhancements that you can do. So that would be like relic warlord trait, and then like maybe 3 options for each, like they did with World Eaters.
Yeah.
And then a little blurb about what their special rules are. And that's honestly, I think that's really good. I think the simplification kind of makes it more accessible to more people to concentrate more on the gameplay aspect of it rather than like the wombo combo, like exploitive nature that can sometimes happen. I think there's a lot of benefits there, and really understanding what everything does to a pretty high degree is, I think, really good.
Yeah.
Wow, John, that's really great.
John,
yeah,
wonderful. Can't. Oh, it happened again. You're getting so serious too. I was like,
yeah. That's the best.
Bringing it back.
Boom! Back into the tinny we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just awful audio. So we're saying here, also says here, 10th edition will bring back indexes, with all armies, stratagems, and warlord traits being massively scaled back. How do you feel about this? Because this is now a complete reset, just 2 editions after the last reset.
Cool. And I don't even, like, how much of a real whole reset is it, though?
Yeah.
Like, I guess we'll have to see if, like, a lot of rules are changing or if stats are changing. Like, we don't know any of that stuff. We just kind of have some of these really kind of generic comparisons right now.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to find out, like, if it's, but I'm cool with either way. Like, I think it keeps the game fresh. And there's always new stuff to be figuring out. And yeah, I think that's great.
I'm real glad I didn't shill out for that collector's World Eater codex. Yeah.
We did see though that I think the World Eater Codex was the initial kind of boarding point for 10th edition. Honestly, from the way these rumors are, we have warlord traits really scaled back, relics really scaled back, strats really scaled back.
Yeah. Overwatch is in action, like it says, that, which is interesting.
Sub factions are gone and replaced with custom traits. Sub-faction flavor is relegated to special characters providing rules. And Danny, we saw this with World Eaters. With like Angron and Guard having very specific warlord traits.
Yep.
And Guard as well. Guard was exactly the same way. Right?
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like, of course I'm sad to see like some of the stuff go, but if that's the way they wanted to do it, to like, if you wanted to make, like, for instance, I've been playing like Craft Worlds a lot lately. So like if I wanted to make my army an Ulthway army, like I could pick things that I wanted rather than being locked into that particular like color scheme equals these rules, which is kind of nice for people who want to like try out different stuff.
We have here OPSEC is gone. Objectives are controlled based on the number of starting wounds, with troops counting as double. What are your take on OPSEC being gone?
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't. It was a very important keyword, and either the addition or the removal of that keyword was a big deal. But I can see maybe the push towards maybe more troops, right, with double wounds. Like, I don't know. I'm looking at my 8-bound, and I'm super happy they have 3 wounds. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one here, Danny, that he brings up as a leak is the turret rule is generic now. So nearly every vehicle has at least one turret.
Cool. I think that's neat. I mean, I'd want to see how that played out. I guess I haven't taken in all the considerations of that, but not necessarily being able to lock tanks in combat to prevent them from doing anything makes tanks a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you, like, how good it feels. Like, I mostly play assault armies, being able to nullify an entire opponent's army by just consolidating into a tank.
Yeah,
I'd be like, okay, you can maybe punch me. You have like a, I don't know, like a 1 in 36 chance of actually hitting me. And in return, you just can't fire at anything that isn't me. That's a real big feels bad, and kind of that goes away with it. But yeah, so like that's kind of what it's been sort of discussed as being sort of coming for 10. Nothing's been announced. I know Mike Brandt at LVO was like, yeah, nothing's planned, nothing's coming, but also GW staff, please don't take a vacation in the last week of June, right about the 40th anniversary of Warhammer. So I think a lot of us could believe something is coming. But who knows when and if. But hopefully, like I said, I like a lot of this stuff. A lot of the generic strats, I think, are going to be better for the game and really let you dive into your faction rather than just turbo tuning it to 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, anyway. Danny, we're going to move forward here.
Cool.
I called this one conspiracy theory time. I covered this person's name because we just don't want to deal with the comment section again, and I really didn't have time to prep you for this, Danny. So this random person I put up here.
Yeah.
The Games Workshop did not want to release the squad of berserkers on Juggernauts alongside the Lord Invictus because they knew people would just buy the box of 3 berserkers and convert their own lords. So they pulled the Juggerzerkers from the book and sold the Lord Invo only to re-release the Codex in early 10th edition alongside the new kits. Danny, thoughts?
Wow. There's a lot of assumptions there. I mean, I'm not sure like there's what the basis of this is. Are there mentions of them in the World Eaters Codex?
In the fluff, Lord Amicus, there's lean toward their units of Jugger berserkers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe something was hard about getting that kit produced, like enough in time, or maybe they wanted to spread out the release so they could, totally give a nice release to World Eaters, like in the future, something to add, or maybe even in a new like campaign book or something like that, release rules for them.
Now, Dickie, you've built a Lord Avocado.
Yeah.
Does the sprue lend itself to being reused with like another unit, or is it all kind of mixed in together?
No, it's at the box is amazing actually. So you can build Avocado and also a second Jugger Lord, just no Jugger obviously. So if you can grab a Juggernaut from a Skull Crusher, I guess they're called. So
yeah, sure.
You could totally, literally just build 2 lords with 1 kit. So I mean,
2 lords, 1 kit. By the way, is our next week episode title.
yeah, write that down. Put that on the whiteboard.
Yeah, for sure. I will say though, like it does have like a little bit of credence, sort of. If you kind of only compare it to say the Imperial Knight release, where that book did release with just 2 unit entries.
Yeah,
and then it came out later down with 1 upgrade sprue coming to it. But I don't think I think this is just sort of more like a staged release, more along the line of the Lumineth through Realm Lords, right?
I think it just comes down to time, right? Like time, and they probably look at the amount of new kits. So there's the 8-bound, which make 8-bound and Exalted. There's the Jugger Lord, which we just talked about. There's the new Zerkers, which we've been waiting how long for?
Yeah, a million years,
and
like over 20 years.
And the Cultists and Angron. So that's a good amount of kits for people to grab, paint up, and play with, right? So I think it makes sense that they would stagger these things. I only imagine that Votann will have another release at some point with other things, right? So, yeah.
How do you feel as a World Eaters player being staggered like this and not being like, here's all of your stuff and you're not going to get anything else released for another 7 years?
Did you like edging, Dickie?
My wife thanks GW for staggering these releases.
Good. That is good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unserious it a little bit here. Let's skip to slide 18. As this is not necessarily 40K related, but I enjoyed it. This slide here says, I swear nothing in this whole entire world smells better than the person you love. And the guy's like, have you ever walked by a Cinnabon? Danny, what does your favorite Warhammer faction smell
like? What? I don't know. Probably slavery.
Slavery. So wait,
Jesus.
Before saying anything else, Dickie, with only the information that this faction smells like slavery.
Yeah.
Which is that like a cinnamon? Is that like a vanilla or
maybe? But probably more like excrement and death.
Oh yeah. And
oppression.
Sadness and oppression.
Yeah. It's not Bath and Body
trauma.
Works best selling flavor. Dickie, what faction is it that smells like slavery?
Dark Eldar, I guess, would make sense.
I mean, yeah, those are my favorite models for sure.
Yeah.
It's true.
You said Warhammer faction. I was thinking Dark Elves.
Oh. A nice nod to fantasy. We got our fantasy nod.
Thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair. Dickie, what is your favorite faction smell like?
Well, I feel like this is a pretty easy. Yeah, it would, I guess, coppery. Red. I don't know.
I do remember at LVO on one of the days that everything might not have been working as well as it was, and Val was getting pretty stressed with how everything was going. I did stop by the GW booth and stood in line to purchase him the candle that was corn, which was the scent of anger. But luckily the line was too long. Otherwise, I feel I would have had a candle thrown in my face.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So Crib Shadow in chat saying his smells like Italian food.
Oh.
What faction is that?
Yeah.
What?
Is he Empire? I'm trying to go back into a fantasy here.
Well, I guess it could be Dogs of War.
Oh,
like
I do love me some Dogs of War.
It's Ultramarines, the most Italian.
Oh.
So I don't know if it is or not, but the Marnius
are we sure they're Italians? Like
Marnius Calgar just shows up to the battle like, "Hey, Tyranids, get off of my planet." That's what Marnius Calgar sounds like in all the audiobooks.
A Macraggian accent sounds like.
Oh boy,
that would honestly. All right, I want to reread a Cato
my head
Sicarius
canon
book
and can't deal with this right now. Yeah.
and think about him speaking in an Italian accent, like when he says, "I'm Cato Sicarius."
I'm a Cato Sicarius. It's just like that Italian-themed pizza chef we paid to mess up a message to get.
We need to get that guy back.
Crew.
Yeah,
we need to get that guy back.
Yeah,
Luigi makes the best pizza. That's going to be Patreon stretch goals in a few weeks. It's just ridiculous cameos explaining Warhammer rules.
Fantastic.
I love it. We're going to move on here.
Yep.
To slide 21. We're going to let it out of order here.
Is this
it? It says here, using some beautiful... No, we already did Crunchy. 21.
Let's save that for another time.
You say the first thing and I'll find it.
So it says here, it's a beautiful piece of Goonhammer art. And it says, the real reason the Emperor didn't make the Primarchs female is because he knew how y'all would behave around 12-foot tall muscular chicks with daddy issues. Yeah. Danny, how would people behave around 12-foot tall muscular chicks with daddy issues?
John, we've seen this from that Resident Evil game. People are just absolutely irresponsible. It's sad. It's a sad commentary. And I'm really glad the Games Workshop had the foresight and the fortitude, most importantly,
to hold
the line.
Yeah.
Stop checking chat, letting us know. And don't forget to bring a nice bowl of pasta to share with your battle brothers after the fight. It will keep your strength up and your spirits high. A famous Cato Sicarius quote.
It's in the book somewhere. Yeah.
It's just that's why
I heard that.
Chris Pratt with his amazing Mario accent is going to play Gulliman in the Warhammer
Oh
TV
my
series.
God, please.
There's another shocker. There's going to be another thing here on slide 23. Just found out a shocker. For 2 years now, I was oblivious to the crooked techniques of Games Workshop. I don't know what I'm going to do. Today, I turned my Scorpius upside down and found out GW saved money from the bottom plate of my tank. How dare they? So sad that back in the day, all the Justice Warriors were not here to let me know I was wronged by the evil corporation. Danny, is this sarcasm?
No, John, this is real.
Oh.
You know, he's really upset that he's been wronged by Games Workshop. It's unbelievable the shortcuts that they took to make a hovercraft tank look realistic and not weigh a pound.
Yeah.
What's your take on these here? Like bottomless models, just like Olive Garden, the Ultramarines' favorite restaurant, has bottomless salad and breadsticks. These are bottomless models. We now see the Rogue Dorn tank. We've seen it in the past with the Sikaris. Does it bother you that these models are coming out, in some people's words, incomplete?
You know, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Let's put it that way.
Oh. Wow.
Because have you assembled yours yet, or is it pile of shames?
It is still shaped like a box.
It's Schrodinger's tank. The bottom is both missing and complete.
Who knows? Dude, it could be in the box. We don't know.
Craft.
We don't know.
Who knows?
I think it's fine. Like ultimately, people aren't moving stuff like models upside down anymore to show that they're blown up. So like, who cares if the bottom isn't painted? Like, I haven't painted the bottom of a tank in years.
It's true. I've sprayed it black and forgotten about it. Moving on here. This is just a phenomenal conversion job I saw that reminded me. I thought it was based on a Kiss TV show, but it's not. It's Whoop Whoop. It's the sound of the Space Police. You can find them on Instagram at Kevlar and Clank. Danny, what are we looking at?
I thought that was the sound a Juggalo made.
Oh. Whoop whoop.
There's no fuego here. This is just...
Dude, I had some Fago like for lunch this weekend. It tasted very cheap. It was amazing.
Okay.
Are you telling me a product that the Insane Clown Posse produced and endorse is cheap?
Are you telling me?
Dare you, sir?
Backyard Wrestling Federation owning the band of rap musicians endorsed soda was cheap?
What are your takes on these conversions? They take a lot of cool vehicles here, make a lot of different things. I gotta say, the guy on the bottom left, I don't know where that base vehicle is from. But
it's a toy. It's got to be like a toy, random toy, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel about the Pope Mobile on the right?
You don't think that's a prison cell?
Oh, it is. But why put him up like that?
To show.
Is he a psycher?
Yeah. To show people. Don't mess with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he could be famous, like a.
He could be a famous criminal.
Dancer.
Yeah.
It's just very famous. Beautiful, dude. I love it. I want to round out at LVO. I was told of this amazing movie by one of the Dice Chat crew, Garrett, and it was a Nicolas Cage movie, which was quite phenomenal. It's called Prisoner of the Ghostland. It is completely insane. It makes very little sense, but I do recommend it. It's going to be my first John's pick, which is a segment we're never going to do again.
Oh.
But Nicolas Cage,
you're going to make us do this every week.
He's going to have to go. He has to go rescue his a warlord's granddaughter, and to encourage him to do so, he's forced to wear a black leather suit that has a bomb, 2 bombs on his neck, a bomb on each arm, and a bomb on each testicle. And if he has impure thoughts, he has 2 bombs, 1 on each testicle. If he has impure thoughts or thoughts of harming this woman, then the testicle bomb will blow up. And I made my wife watch it, and it didn't make any sense, but it was quite wonderful. You should definitely check that out.
Sounds great, actually.
It's beautiful. Danny, any recommendations before we kick out of here?
No, John, I've got no. I don't have time to consume media at this point in my life.
That's fair. Fair.
Wow.
Dickie, any recommendations you want to throw out there that's no Last of Us?
Yeah, like watch all the shows. Like we got well, I mean, this is our last kind of go around with Signals and Thursday show for me anyway. And then come join us on Monday. I think we're still doing Mondays, right?
Yeah, so next Monday is going to be our last show on the Frontline Gaming Network.
Yep.
I'll probably put a little QR code somewhere on the screen next week for where to sign up, but we're going to keep on doing this episode. It's going to be weekly still.
Yeah.
We're still going to have the same low quality.
Mic
you guys
dropping
join
sons of guns.
If you've noticed, if you're a follower of Danny and I's old show Mob Rules, you might have noticed that their Patreon, their Discord, their YouTube channel, everything's been renamed to Grim about 3 weeks ago. So did you really notice? That's the true thing to ask. But yeah, let's throw this up here. Let's go back to slide number 17. This is going to be like our penultimate week. So next week is our last episode of Grim After Dark on the FLGN. After that, you can find us here. We're going to keep going, whether you want us to or not. We're really excited to kind of... What are you most excited for, Dickie, apart from only working one day a week now?
I'm really excited. Editing one video, producing one show. I'm going to have so much time. I don't even know what to do with it.
That's fair. Danny, what are you excited for?
Go ahead.
You know, I'm excited to just really embrace our newfound freedom. And you know, I don't want anything coming back on Frontline for my bad takes. So maybe I can try and up the amount of bad takes that I provide.
That'll be a segment. Danny's bad takes, as well as your hot takes. And sorry, Dickie, you were saying before I rudely cut you off.
No. It's good. It's good. No, it's all good. We'll talk about it later.
I'm genuinely, I think I'm most excited for the hanging paints. We've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yeah, I really do want to do that.
That'll be a lot of fun, and then that'll be a way for Val to put Warhammer Fantasy on our streams. We Chris Shadow coming in with a
super chat.
With a little super chat here at the end. Grim is leaving because GW showed John Zangron. Yeah.
You're too famous.
I'm too famous. Like their paint studio. By the way, guys, if you want a good commission paint army, let me tell you about Frontline Gaming. They have a fantastic commission army, and they even paint the bases of the base rims.
Yeah, you don't have to try for the John effect. You won't have to worry about that.
No. And so as soon as this show got bigger because we showed an unrimmed model, they're like, we can't be associated with this.
Don't you start with those rim jokes at the end of the episode.
Rimming is mandatory at the Frontline Gaming Network.
Huh. Okay. Is that what we're calling it? Rimming? All right.
Well, painting the rim. Well, What else would you call it?
I don't know.
You don't rim?
I don't know. It's just real close to another thing that I'm worried about. I can't hear you. I can't hear Danny. This is perfect.
Perfect. Good. Well, we're going to wrap this up here, guys. That's all the time we have for today's episode of Grim After Dark. Thank you for joining us, and we explored the grim darkness of the 41st millennium and beyond. Remember to follow us pretty much everywhere at 40K Grim. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Patreon, all of the places, 40K Grim. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Leave a review if you enjoyed the show. After next week, they can be 1 star for all we care. But up until that point, 5 stars all the way. So until next time, stay safe. Stay Warhammered, and remember, it's going to be pretty grim after dark.
Rimming.